You will not believe what happened. After the entire cast, besides me, suddenly disappeared off the face of the earth, we went to the Zak Myers show. Then we got Brian to be our sports reporter. Now we are back to a full cast. I mean, they probably won't be here long, and we'll be back to the Zak Myers show, hopefully in a reasonable amount of time. Let's see how long these people are here and see if they can even make it to the end of the episode here on MU180. Well, what happened in the news this past week? Honestly, who the hell really cares? Because this past week has been pretty darn dull. In addition, I now have cast members that are more than capable of knowing what is in the news and making fun of it. So why should I do that this week? This is pretty much like my week off that I still have to be at work. So I put absolutely no effort into preparing for my script this week. And this week, I'll only talk about either me or Marquette stuff or things I feel like complaining about this week. First thing I'm going to talk about is fire. That's right, fire. Why on earth does every freaking school in America and every dorm on this campus have to do constant fire drills? How often do you hear about campus dorms burning down? It never happens these days, ever. And no one ever gets hurt. Whoever invented the fire drill would say, that's because they were trained for the fire. Wrong. It is because in this day and age, it isn't too hard to figure out how to get out of the building in the fastest humanly possible manner when there is danger. Also, if anything we should not be training on the campus how to do a fire is my friend is passed out and drunk and looks dead drill. That's what we should really be doing. That would be so much more helpful and something every student this campus would use a lot. The residents in McCormick would use that drill pretty much every single Friday and Saturday, and also Thursday and Sunday, most likely Monday, Wednesday, and Tuesday. Well, we haven't had an old-fashioned "What's up with your life, Zach?" session in a while, so let me fill you in. If you did not realize, I work for one and the only student safety programs on this campus, which of course runs the one and only local inter-campus mobile operation. What's that? I'm sorry, I didn't hear you. What is a local inter-campus mobile operation? It is kind of a mouthful to say. So you know what we did at student safety programs? We made it simpler and took the first letter of each word and decided to call these vans limos. Well, to make a short story even longer, I am a supervisor with the limos, and over the weekend I got to clean up my very first biohazard, which is a fancy word for saying nasty, chunky vomit. Well, we might as well go on over to the Marquette 3, where each week I count down the top 3 answers to a question about Marquette. This week's question, why is the Straz Dining Hall not open on the weekends? What a great question. Some may even say it is fascinating. This is a question that philosophers had debated about for thousands of years. Anyway, at number 3, Straz is closed on the weekends because since they have a gym, they can't have a dining hall. At number 2, Straz is closed on the weekend because everyone likes to take the weekend off from eating healthy Straz food. And number 1 reason that Straz is closed on the weekends is because if they eat healthy food at Straz all week on the weekend, the residents should take the short walk over to Dunkin' Donuts and get their share fare of fat for the week. All right, well, the Olympics have finally ended, to which I say thank God. I find the Winter Olympics so boring. Sorry, Olympic lovers. All my favorite TV shows are off the air for 2 freaking weeks because of the Olympics. You know what I have to do for my TV these past few weeks? I've been watching The Office on Netflix for the 3rd time. After a while, all those episodes get a little old. But what am I supposed to do when I can't watch any new TV shows because of the Olympics? Thanks, Russia. During my other time not watching the Olympics, I've been playing a lot of Grand Theft Auto. I've been praying to Grand Theft Auto gods. I still don't know I still don't even think I am close to finishing out the plot of this game. Like, I had no idea. I bought it when it came out months ago, but I have not finished still. That's probably because I like to screw around when playing the game. My most recent obsession is stealing planes from airports and land them at other airports without them exploding into a million freaking pieces. Other obsessions include spawning military helicopters out of the blue with cheat codes and launching missiles onto the freeway. There is nothing like a game where you can be the most criminal and have absolutely zero consequences. What fun for the little kids out there. Well, I'm sure Dan will have more when we get to our weather report, but what happened in Milwaukee? It was so freaking nice last week. And this week, Milwaukee's least favorite sister moved back in, and the city went back to being depressed and disgusting. Milwaukee is in a terrible mood, and the annoying sister seems to be moving out not anytime soon. But when we come back, we will have our sports and weather. And we're back to MU180, where I actually don't have to contribute much to the rest of this program. That being said, I'm going to send it over to Dan, who seems to be on the road somewhere.
Thanks, Zach. I ain't been so excited about doing nothing since I thought I was going to see Good Will Hunting, and I realized you ain't see no deer getting shot in that movie, so I don't like that movie no more. Now, it's been a long road up here, but I'm honored to be on a recurring segment on MU180, finally. I'm reporting from Seattle, Washington, a city best known for its ability to breed grunge music and coffee shops. While I was here filming for my documentary, Show Me More, How Porn Changed the World, I realized that these hipsters, with their thrift store shoes and rolled up pant legs, were a product of their constantly damp environment. If you're outside the house without your fedora and it starts raining, which, come on, it's going to start raining, your beard's going to get soaked and it's going to weigh down your jaw. Flannel is the only fabric that can properly accommodate the constant drizzle of depression, but you can also roll up your sleeves so they don't get caught in the keys of your typewriter while you're working on your life's obsession. It's kind of like that one documentary that you probably haven't seen, Hoop Afterthoughts, Old Man, New Game. No? You're so mainstream. This effect of the weather on the culture gave me an idea for an even better documentary about the weather. This project is the only thing that could fascinate me enough to stop shooting my documentary about pornography. I'm going around the world to see how the weather has influenced countercultures. Why is Florida, a state still in revolt over states' rights in the Panhandle, so attractive to elderly Jewish couples and aliens fleeing a communist rule? I've decided to shoot this endeavor by visiting every city on Earth that's ever experienced weather that Delta had nonstop flights to. After Seattle, I'm set to head down south to Texas. It's the perfect climate for a ranch, which we all know, and when ride horses often, they get shown up by their equestrian friends, causing them to make everything in the state bigger to compensate. And then it's on to New Orleans to try and figure out some crazy bayou folk, but I'm assuming that they'll think that my camera is a voodoo staff, and they'll think that my big puffy microphone's an offering for raccoon stew. After that, I might try Eastern Europe. Hopefully things there have calmed down. I'm very proud of Ukraine, though, because it only took them 24 years since the fall of the Soviet Union. Not Russia, though. They've got a special kind of Stockholm syndrome going on as Putin-influenza, which affects most of the countries. In the last election, 10 out of every 12 Russians voted for Bad Vlad, Russia's rad comrade. If I survive there and I haven't been cut from the show by then, I might stop by somewhere in Asia, pay my respect to General Zhou and Kim Jong-un, os dos tres. In my work, Seattle is complete, so I'll check in with you guys next week. Until then, stay cool and fight the tan line.
Very insightful. And now for another segment that doesn't involve me. Here's Brian with sports.
Yeah, thanks, Zach. Well, the closing ceremonies were Sunday, and if you missed it, the Russians made a nice joke about their rings. It's always fun to see people make jokes about themselves. But the one thing I was really waiting for Jason Collins and Michael Sam to walk out and show everybody, hey, look, there's gay people in Sochi too. It's hard not to determine what the Olympics will be remembered in Sochi. There's the disappointment of Shaun White, U.S. hockey, and the speed skating. But there was good, with the U.S. playing second in medals and, just doing well overall. But honestly, it was the biggest crapshoot carnival ever. Putin tried to make it a tourist place, and all he did was just drive people away. And the worst part is that the Olympic complex will go to complete waste afterwards. It'll be as lonely as when my parents walked out on me. Well, the U.S. hockey team didn't go home empty-handed. After a disappointing showing in the last 2 games, the team decided to steal some stray dogs and take them home. And actually, one of the dogs made its way to the Milwaukee Brewers spring training complex. Supposedly, it was wandering around the facilities, and they took him in, named him Hank. I smell a great PR move with that, though. Bringing Hank around, tailgating during the opening day. I mean, the one people who doesn't love dogs, college drunk kids. And if you don't believe me, remember National Marquette Day last year when they had the halftime puppy show? Because if you bring them there, it's going to be a hoot. Speaking of Marquette games, they played their arch rival DePaul Saturday at National DePaul Day. How do I know that? Because I was there. But it was hard to tell from all the gold. Marquette tried every single way to keep them in the game, even till the very end, where Devontae Garden actually threw the ball in the air with 4 seconds left and tried to give DePaul a chance to hit a last-second shot. Probably the most boneheaded play I've ever seen. Their next game will be Thursday night, though, when they play the sad Georgetown fans. And, at least hopefully someone will go home happy. But, for now, whatever. That's all for sports.
Right. Yeah. Well, when we come back, we have yet another new cast member. And I'll just be, lazing around here at the desk. So stay tuned. We actually managed to find another girl to come onto the show. Wow, big shocker. Well, here's the social report.
Hey Marquette, how do you feel? I'm Xiaoying, a 20-year-old girl and an exchange student from Guangzhou, an amazing city near Hong Kong, and I'm going to be one of your social reporters this semester. Wow, a long sentence. I'm so excited that I have this opportunity to go exchange and make new friends here. I'm sure I will have a lot of feelings and experience to share with you in these following few months. Well, I thought I would begin with several questions that a lot of you might want to ask me. For a lot of friends asked me the same questions the first time we met. How do you like Marquette? How do you like the United States? Why do I choose Marquette? Well, I want to thank a lot of people who care about my feelings. I'm having a great time here, that's true. Personally, I think Marquette is a harmonious university with a long history, and it has a spirit of exploration in its culture. Do you think so? I live in Global Village, and I make a lot of international friends there, like people from Spain, Germany, France, Denmark, South Africa, South America, Korea, Japan, and so on. It's really amazing that you live with people from different cultures when you can have funny parties on the same floor every week and chat with foreign friends about their lives in their cultures, their stories before they come here, their plans when they go back, and their feelings about the people and the cultures, etc. In Global Village, the most important part is the ambassadors, who help us a lot in both life and study. They do a great job giving us a lot of suggestions to solve problems and live better here. They are friendly, patient, careful, and open-minded. Besides, I'm grateful that Marquette offers a lot of opportunities for me to improve my skills and have a better experience here. I'm working a part-time in dining hall, joining the program board in MU180, being a social reporter here, and I'm going to the map trip during the spring break. Woohoo! I will share more details about different things that I meet and think later. Then we come to the second question. How do I like the United States? Oh my God. I arrived in Chicago in January the 5th, and I met with the worst weather at that time, a big snowstorm. And my flight from Chicago to Milwaukee was canceled. Even worse, The UA didn't give me any refund because the cancel was due to the weather. And then I had to take a coach to Milwaukee. It took me a long time to find the bus station. Oh, on my way to Milwaukee, I tried to contact the school, but it was weekend, so nobody answered the phone and nobody helped me. Poor me. However, I didn't feel afraid. Perhaps I was brave at that time, but I think that was because I met a lot of friendly American people who would like to give me a hand at that time. I asked a lot of questions along my way, and people were always friendly to answer me. Well, after I went to my apartment, everything had settled quickly. That's my first experience in the USA. The United States is a big country, and the people's life there and working style are similar to mine, actually. However, I still prefer living in a warm, modern, and popular city with busy streets, many shopping malls, a lot of lights at night, and not too many, but moderate people in the shops. I enjoy having many different kinds of stores near my apartment building, hanging out with family and friends outside at night, and even just watching people going around the streets or the lights flashing at night. And the weather. The weather is very important, I think. I like places with warm weather. I like the sunshine, the beaches, the green trees, and the flowers. I think I will love California and Florida, and I'm planning a vacation to either of these places in May. How exciting! As for why I choose Marquette, I would say that I want to go to a cold place to see whether I can survive. See you next time.
Well, thank you, Sharon. To wrap up this show, I would like to bring back now Dan, our weather reporter, for a little discussion about something I care deeply about and feel is an extremely important issue to bring up on the remainder of the show. Welcome back, Daniel.
Thank
Of
you.
course, the important issue. I didn't bring much, so
No.
we're going to have to just.
That's all right.
It's probably going to melt in these lights too. But
I got that.
we got some candy here.
With candy.
We have candy.
All right.
We got your Reese's. I didn't buy the big ones. Too expensive,
Right,
and
yeah.
they don't
That's
pay.
a lot of money.
They don't pay us much here.
No, I ain't paying nothing. Nothing.
It's kind of like working in a slave labor camp.
Well, you can't say something like that. Well, that's just terrible.
Well, we also have Starburst,
Well, yeah, it's mine. I want the.
and we got M&Ms.
Yellow
and
one.
You know what? Let them melt on the desk.
Oh, this is.
Let them melt. on
Oh,
the
they're
desk.
gonna.
It's not my desk.
Kill us.
It's not my desk.
They're gonna.
Not my desk.
Uh,
So, if you had to choose one of these, what would you choose?
I'm gonna go for this.
Wrong.
Stop. What?
Wrong.
But
No.
no.
What do you choose now? It's gone.
chewy
It's
and
gone.
it's
It's
ginseng.
gone. It's gone.
I want that.
No, pick
I
something
mean,
else.
there's more of
Pick
them.
something else.
There's more of them.
Pick something.
I could just pick the pink strobe. The lemon. I could just pick the lemon.
You're gonna eat the lemon.
He's gonna. Then, if all them was off the table, I would choose the Reese's cups.
Are you kidding me? I only brought 3. And the reason I only brought 3 different kinds of candies is to make it easy. You had a 1 in 3 chance of getting this right.
Yeah, and
And you got the
Well,
first one wrong.
the first. Well, you got it.
You got the second one wrong.
I don't.
You can have that.
I can't. What are you?
No, I'm bringing it back
What are you
home.
talking about?
I'm bringing it back
It's
home.
my favorite.
I'm bringing them back
It's
home.
my
They're
favorite.
$10 each. Do you have $10?
I ain't. No. I ain't got.
Spend all your money
I
on
ain't got-
gas going around the country.
No, I'll tell you. I ain't spending my money. They're comping my flights, and they are cheap. 'Cause
They
thank
let
you,
you
Delta
fly?
Airlines, for fueling my future. Thank you,
Thank you,
Delta.
Southwest, for
Delta
making me an
Airlines.
A-list member. Southwest all the way.
A-list is an ass list.
Those are some terrible words, and my ears are ringing.
Like, you just mad because I'm smarter than you.
Well, what candy of this is your favorite?
Probably them Mike and Ike's. Is that what them is?
Really? They have an M on them, so you're
Yeah,
getting close.
Mike and
Look
Ike.
at this.
Mike.
Look at this.
Yeah. Oh,
It says it right there. It
them
says-
peanut people.
Peanut people?
Peanut
These
people.
are obviously regular M&Ms.
Oh. I'm sorry. That's right. It's
Where'd
the
you live?
That's right, the
Where'd you
size of-
grow up?
Peanut.
Where,
The South.
where in the South?
The deep South.
How deep are we talking?
Well, pretty
Mexico?
deep. No, obviously not Mexico, because I'm from America. American. I can be president. Not like some man from Kenya. I can be president. I earned it. America.
Let
Now-
me ask you a random question. Has nothing to do with the comments you just said.
Yeah.
In your backyard,
Yeah.
at your old home, did you have a
Old home.
Confederate flag?
No, man. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yes.
Like,
I think
it's
you
nothing.
do.
No,
Did you have one?
no, there ain't nothing Confederate about it. It's about states'
If
rights.
you could go back in time.
If I could go back, okay. Where are we
and-
going?
Yeah,
Where
we're
at?
going back in time, 1800.
All right, that's pretty sweet. It's the dawn of civilization.
Yep.
Figuring
no.
out a lot of things in the
No,
1800s.
Civilization was a long time ago.
No, it's the dawn of civilization.
Okay, sure it was. That's what they teach you in the southern
Manifest
schools.
destiny is the
Go
beginning of
public
the world.
schools in the South. You know, always the best.
Yeah,
Did you
they
go to
are.
public schools in the South? Did they let you into school?
I don't. What's public about school? I ain't take nothing.
I also have another question. Early, like about 4 minutes ago, you were in Seattle, and
Yeah.
now you're at our studio in Milwaukee. How does that happen? Delta Airlines?
The friendly and exciting service of Delta Airlines can transport you from Seattle, Washington, all the way back down here to Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
It's not down to get to Milwaukee from Seattle.
It's pretty far down. gotta
Is
be.
everything down from the South?
No, everything's up from the south.
Because whenever I hear like Southern people talk, they're like, "Oh, I gotta go down to, Maine.
well,
gotta
yeah.
go down to Maine tonight.
No, that's
Maine's
just,
pretty
That's
north.
just insulting. That's not how
I gotta get down
is
to
that
Canada.
How I sound?
I gotta get down
Is that the
to go see Santa
Santa?
in the North Pole."
Well, yeah. Well, naturally, you would have to do something like that. And everybody knows that Santa Claus Workshop moved from the North Pole to South Pole after Chernobyl.
I did hear that too.
Yeah.
The nuclear reaction definitely.
He's
spreads.
Santa Claus. He ain't gonna stick around that radiation.
I thought
He's dumb. He ain't stupid.
Santa could control the radiation.
Well, that's just dumb.
Are you
He's-
related to Santa? You seem to know
No.
a lot about his.
I don't-
no one else. I thought
That's silly. No.
thought
No.
that happened, but I
No.
think you just confirmed it. You
Everybody
said it with
knows-
a lot of certainty.
Everybody knows the only guy related to Santa Claus is Fred Claus. It was in a movie, documentary, starring Vince Vaughn.
Who else is related to Santa Claus? You.
Not me. I ain't related to
What's your
Santa
last name? Is it Claus?
Claus.
Dan
No,
Claus.
Don't you worry about what my last
Dan
name is.
Claus.
That's for me and the government to know. Can't hate 88. Dale Jr.
Dale. Who?
Dale Jr.
Who?
My hero. Can't hate 88. Tell you what.
NASCAR.
Oh, yeah.
NASCAR.
Yeah.
I don't know. Were you here? Did you see any of the shows before you came here?
I don't know what you're talking
There's
about.
anything I hate from my last year as the sports reporter. It's NASCAR.
Well, that's unfortunate.
Let me tell you some
Man, you
reasons why
missing out.
NASCAR
It's
is
the
not
wor-
a sport.
It's the most popular sport in America.
It is not a sport.
You don't even know. There is mental and physical preparation that it requires to drive on them vehicles at such a high octane, you couldn't even understand it. You would poop in your pants.
The only reason people watch NASCAR is to see people die.
That's not true.
Yes. Well, that's about all the time we have. But I think we settled this with M&M's are the greatest candy because there's only candy left on the table. So I'm glad we came to a compromise.
Well, that's not nice.
Fly Southwest.
Fly Delta.
Southwest will see you next week.